Welcome to this week's edition of the Nonlinear Google Hangout. My name is Erin Stearns, Senior Director of Strategic Accounts for Nonlinear Creations. Today we'll be covering the Agile methodology, Nonlinear style. And with us today to help us describe our Agile project management approach, we have Antoine Rulliere, SDF Master, and John Revay, Account Director. Welcome, Antoine and John. If you wouldn't mind giving our audience a brief description of each of your roles and responsibilities within Nonlinear, I think this will help us understand the perspective as we go through some of the questions. Antoine?
Sure, absolutely. So as the SDF Master at Nonlinear, the role encapsulates the following responsibilities. We are in charge of making sure that the methodology that has been put in place here at Nonlinear is followed, and that based on that methodology, we deliver a successful product.
Perfect. Now, John?
As the account manager, I really supplement the project manager and the team. I look at it as making sure that expectations stay aligned within both the nonlinear and the client stakeholders. And really, I guess the way that I always summarize it is that project managers focus on events and outcomes, and it's the role of the account manager to focus on trends and forces.
Excellent. Well, welcome both of you. I think we'll just jump right into the questions. Antoine, if you could start by describing Nonlinear's adaptation of the Agile methodology, kind of covering off some of the benefits from a project management perspective.
Yes, so we took the Agile methodology, which comes from more of a software environment, and looked at how we could apply this to web implementations. And we really follow the same pattern when it comes to the implementation part of the project. So we go through iterations. We create a product backlog, and we estimate the user stories, we prioritize them, we implement them per iteration, we have iteration demos and retrospective, and we do that through the entire implementation process. So we follow the Agile methodology pretty closely on the implementation part of our projects.
Can you speak specifically to some of the benefits?
The benefit is that we have a very flexible solution. We react very quickly to any requirements changes that might occur, and that should occur honestly during the life of a project. So we are able to capture those changes and that feedback regularly, and act on it immediately, so that the client can see basically the project evolved in front of them and make sure that it matches their expectations.
Right, so there's a constant communication loop.
Exactly.
Perfect. What's specific about Nonlinear's solution delivery framework? John, can you speak to our clients' reception and feedback post-project delivery?
Sure. I think that what we found pretty consistently during project delivery is that there's inevitably a certain amount of learning curve getting used to an iterative approach. Even those accounts that have some experience with Agile, we do take a slightly different approach, as Antoine said, based on our learnings and experience. But I think at the end, the key thing is that we're consistently finding that clients are much happier with the results, because what the Agile approach allows them to do is see work in progress, respond to it, make course corrections as necessary, and they end up with a project that they wanted rather than the project that they thought they described.
Right, they're constantly being heard and being able to provide feedback.
Yep.
Right. Antoine, how did we customize our Agile approach specifically?
So as I mentioned, we applied Agile to the implementation part of a project, but we noticed from experience that it does not necessarily apply to the design phase of it. So when we're creating wireframes, when we are creating design comps, we still think that a more classic and more waterfall approach still works better in most cases. So that's where we've customized it by creating this hybrid approach where during the design phase, while we're building wireframes, while we are building design comps, we still go through a very classic approach. We we present wireframes, we have feedback from the client, we do revisions, so it can be 1 revision, 2 revision, and then they sign off, then we move on to the design comps, and we follow the same process. So it's gated, it's sequential, but then once we move into the implementation part of the project, that's where we go on full Agile.
Okay, so moving to the service delivery framework, how has this impacted the Nonlinear delivery team?
So for the delivery team, the impact has been that they get involved earlier in the project. So they used to, in the old model, they would be given a 500-page document with all the requirements, and that was the Bible they had to follow, and they would go away, implement it, and deliver a final product. Now they get involved earlier. So when the product owner is actually building the backlog, the developers, the solution architect get involved at that stage already to provide the technical input. And they, during the project, while the project is unfolding, the designers and business analysts stay involved during every iteration. So there's still that constant team effort and communication that takes place. So it's much more of a team effort. It's much more collaborative, so that all the different skills in the team build that solution together. Excellent.
How has switching to SDF impacted our projects, Antoine, and our clients, John?
So from a project perspective, I think what it's done is that we used to deliver technically solid solutions that would not necessarily match the actual expectation of the client. Now, because we are staying so close to the client feedback, we are able to deliver in a very short period of time something that would have taken us much more time before, because the iterations allow us to be much more reactive. So the final product is still technically very solid, but also on par with the expectations.
John, what about our clients?
I think there's 3 key things that our clients get out of it. So the first is that they make better decisions for the reason that because there's an opportunity to change and adapt, because we're not trying to get to the final solution at the very beginning, we tend to cut out a lot of paralysis by analysis. And as a result, people are more comfortable making decisions quickly, and frankly, often tend to be better decisions than beating processes to death. And again, they have the opportunity to make those decisions later on through the project. I think the second thing is that clients feel engaged in part of the process. It becomes a single team between us and our clients. It's not a linear and the client. I think that teamwork really helps in terms of building trust and communications. And I think probably the last thing that's, and perhaps the most important thing, is that it gives our clients an opportunity to work more closely with the delivery team throughout the whole process. And I think that allows for, they really get that clear sense that we're not about delivering technology for technology's sake. We're about delivering solutions that work for them and meet their business requirements. And I think that appreciation of our commitment to their success really allows them to open up and really think through their business problems and collaborate in a much more effective way.
Right. It takes away the client-vendor typical siloed approach and makes everybody sort of one team.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both for your time today. You've provided our audience with a really good perspective and information on Nonlinear's Agile methodology, how the project management approach allows for greater flexibility, collaboration, and has proven to be successful within our client base. Until next time, this is the Nonlinear team reporting on how to make the most of best-of-breed business tools and methodology to solve real business problems. Thanks very much. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.